This has been Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. So Republicans have been out today talking about an issue that's very, very, very important to them, and that is suing the Biden administration for forgiving the debt of students who have an income of under $125,000 and forgiving up to $10,000 in debt for some loans and up to $20,000 for Pell Grants. And this has made the Republicans lose their mind. Even Republicans who have taken hundreds of thousands and in many cases millions of dollars in PPP loans for themselves while they're supposed to be representing this country as members of Congress and had their debt forgiven to the tune of hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars. The fact that Biden's trying to help everyday Americans, and most of this will impact people who make less than $75,000, and again with caps at $10,000 of debt forgiveness and in some cases $20,000, while these Republicans are getting millions of dollars in their debt forgiven. They're going to go out and start filing lawsuits in every state the same way they filed lawsuits in every single state until they took away a woman's right to choose and got the Supreme Court to hear Dobbs. And they are going to try to stop Biden from doing this policy, which is massively popular. And here, let's look at this video of Herschel Walker from today, where Herschel Walker is asked about canceling student loan debt and whether he would affirm increasing the minimum wage. Play the clip.
Some of the promises we heard from Democrats going into 2020 was canceling student loans, raising minimum wage. I mean, we've seen the extension of the student loans not having to be paid, but we haven't seen anything on minimum wage too much. What would you want to do in terms of those things?
Well, first of all, they love to spend money we don't have, don't they? They keep spending money we don't have. We're going to cancel student loans. We're going to cancel. Why don't we cancel everybody that got a loan in this country? Let's cancel everybody loan. But first of all, why don't we talk about getting jobs back, bringing industries back to this country that they've given to China? Why don't we bring those back? Why don't we talk about putting people back to work? Let's make money rather than spending money. They seem to be good at spending other people's money, but yet they are not good at when they have to not do it. They don't do it. It was good for thee and not for me, and they do that. You've seen them all the time.
And you see how Herschel Walker is just laughing at the idea of a policy that could help everyday Americans, and also not wanting to increase the minimum wage so that it is a living wage. Look, when the Republicans tell you who they are, again and again and again, when they tell you how radically and extreme and how their policies will harm everyday Americans, you need to absolutely believe what it is that they are telling you. And I have to ask my, Republican friends out there, they're literally doing nothing to help you. What, just spreading hate about other groups that actually helps you and that makes you feel better? Or wouldn't you feel better to know your Social Security is being saved and your Medicare is saved and that drug prices are lowering and you'll have access to education? How about that? Wouldn't that help you to know that your freedoms are being protected by the Democrats? Wouldn't that be helpful? And then here, I'll show you this other clip from Representative Buddy Carter, who's asked on Fox Business about what his views on canceling student debt is and what he would do when the Republicans ever come into power. Let's play this clip.
How do you undo that? Let's say that happens and that this money goes out to all of these kids, 40 million plus, and then a federal judge comes along and says you can't do that. How do you undo the money those people got?
Well, that's a great question. And we've been asking that question not only about student debt loans, but also about a number of initiatives that have been instigated and put into place by the Biden administration, just like in the Inflation Acceleration Act that I mentioned before with the prescription drug pricing. That is something I'm very interested in as a pharmacist. And I've been asking my colleagues, how are we going to undo that when we get into the majority?
Look, when they tell you how they feel, you need to believe what they're saying. So just notice, on his own, without even being provoked in the question, they pivot from talking, not only are we going to go after students and Biden who have loan forgiveness, not only are we going to go after them, but we need to raise prescription drug prices. One of the things that they're most angry about is under Biden, prescription drug prices have decreased. They're upset that under Medicare, their caps on Part B premiums are going to be decreased to below $2,000. Like, they're angry that under Medicare, there'll be caps on the price of insulin. They don't want that to be happening outside of Medicare to everybody else who gets their health care delivered. They want to repeal that. They want to bring all health care up, and they want to abolish Social Security. I mean, these are very, very, very dangerous policies. And if they ever come into power, this is what they are going to spend time doing. They're going to spend time fighting for billionaires, oligarchs, and Trump, and leaving every other American in the dust. And not only in the dust, but affirmatively attacking Americans, attacking our freedoms. And that's what they want to do. That's what their big announcement is right now, that they're out there going to sue because of the student loan forgiveness. Meanwhile, they're out there getting millions of dollars in PPP loans. It's utterly absurd. It's utterly offensive. It's anti-American, and it's time we wake up to what they're doing. This has been Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Make sure you hit the subscribe button now. Hit subscribe and join the Meidas Mighty movement. We so appreciate you. Hit subscribe now.
This November is Rowvember. MeidasTouch just released its brand new collection of Rowvember t-shirts and pins to let the country know what's at stake this upcoming midterm election. Go to store.meidastouch.com to grab yours. That's store.meidastouch.com.